All right, you guys, we are back with segment three. And yes, we did change clothes because why not? Right. So,
Yeah.
this segment, and we have been talking about, bro, we have been talking about a lot of things. And I'm so glad to have this conversation. Like we have to do another one of these.
Yeah.
This one is talking about segment three is talking about culture, clash, brotherhood built, right? Um, and the first thing is like navigating family expectations, from back home. I can't necessarily say I have family expectations because my family have just given up on trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because clearly I'm going to do what I want to do. But
That's good.
you know,
Yeah.
how do you navigate those expectations, like family expectations? Do they impact you?
Well, lucky for me, I mean, ever since I was born, then, like, I mean, I mean, again, like I come from India, a little background. So Indian family values are a little different, but hopefully my father, like, always like trusted me.
Mm,
I mean, he didn't trust me earlier, but as he saw that I'm doing good in life, I have good moral values, I have a good character, and, I'm growing up becoming a nice human. So he kind of like, pushed back on himself and he was like, yeah, let him do whatever he wants. He's like mature enough. So luckily, I don't have like a big pressure from family. Oh, no, you have to do this or you have to do this in a certain way. Like I can go out and marry someone from a different culture. And, my family's pretty cool, pretty chill. But yeah, some things could be real. Like, but at the end of the day, they still want you to do good in life, and
mm,
you should have like a nice job and earn good money and stuff like that. So yeah, those things are there, and also like Indian parents usually they talk to their offsprings like almost daily. Like two times in a day for like hours and like one time a day. But luckily for me, it's like now I speak with my father and my mother like once a week or maybe twice a week
mm-hmm.
for like some time, and that's pretty much it. Nothing major going on around there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
yeah,
am. That's really cool, man, because as I'm looking
yeah,
at these different things for this segment, I'm like, this is this is probably going to be these two next segments that we have are going to be pretty big, man. I'm looking at them like,
hmm
wow, just because when being here in America, do you find that some of your American friends don't quite always get your values? And how do you navigate that? Because it's like you're here and people that you connect with back home, they're not here with you. And so like having a kind of community. I know that you were talking about
yeah,
your friends out in the where from uni that you went to. But
yeah,
right now you're not really around them. So like when you're not around
yeah,
that space of familiarity when it comes to cultural values and you're submerged into the American
right,
hustle and bustle, how do
yeah.
you how do you navigate that when people around you don't quite get your values?
Well, so I would say, Mr. Locker Room, that American people and especially like America and American people, they're so open.
Mm,
Like if let's say if I mean they're so open and they're so open-minded and they're so welcoming all the time that there's never been really a clash or something like that because they are so understanding and they're so respectful for other cultures and other values. Like I've had my American friends and like there are certain things that we do differently in India. And if I'm doing a certain thing which is a little different, they would always appreciate and they always want to like know more about it and get to know things better. Oh, why do you guys do this? And how, or like what's the thought process behind it? So I mean, I'm glad I'm not in another country. Let's say if I was in any other country, then it could have been a little difficult. But like
mm,
thankfully, like all the American people are so good, like in there. they're so open-minded. There's that it usually is pretty normal, and like they're all accepting, and they sometimes try to like do our traditions and customs like us, which
Oh,
is
okay.
super nice. And I mean, yeah, and like because we're coming from an outside world, from a different world, so we're trying to adapt. We're trying to do the American way of doing things, and they try to do the Indian way of doing things. So which is very wholesome, and everyone learns new things, new traditions, and new customs. But yeah, like there has never been a moment where there has been like a cultural clash or anything. Not even close. Like they're so welcoming. Like at least all the friends that I've got, I'm so lucky that I have like friends like you and like other people in my friend circle, which are like super open minded and super. They do not live in their own bubble. Like
Yeah.
they're like flexible. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think on this topic?
Well,
Like,
because
what
it's
would you think? I know you're from here, but
for me, I would say that like what we're doing right now is we are teaching each other our emotional vocabulary, right? From your background, from your history and family lineage and culture, and you're getting to see mine, right? Which is not necessarily the American emotional vocabulary, because I was just at an event last night, and I was told very frequently at that event that I was
Mhm.
very different from most people. And it wasn't a bad thing. It was just that, how I
Yeah.
helped people to feel grounded and secure and transparent and comfortable in being their transparent self. Like, if they were a little bit more feral than other people, like had a wild, not like wild, like uncontrollable, just like more expressive type of nature, especially with like the guys that were I was hanging out with. They felt more comfortable being themselves and just talking and sharing, and
Yeah.
the women were more comfortable being emotionally present and not guarded, like,
Hmm.
okay, this person gonna take advantage or anything like that. So most American men aren't like that. um
Yeah.
which we can see that that's the whole premise of what the locker room is about, is being rooted and grounded in personal development to where you are able to communicate and
Yeah.
convey your emotional vocabulary, emotional intelligence. I don't come out and just, hey, just broadcast it, because it's like if you're in the vicinity or proximity, then I try and let my presence do what it does best and just be present. Because when you start talking a
Right.
certain way and projecting yourself to be on purpose, you create that expectation. And I don't want to create an
Yeah.
expectation. I just want to show up and be myself and
Right.
hope that me being myself does not negatively influence other people to not be themselves. Like, I hope me being authentically me, genuinely me, and
Hmm.
inviting you into that space to experience what I am like in truth will allow you to walk in truth for yourself. So
Right.
it's different because when we live in a society that a lot of people, they want to be accepted, they want
Hmm.
to be approved, even if they don't always just come out and say it subconsciously. There's this embedded grain of thought that I have to be accepted, I have to fit in, to some level, to some degree. And
Yeah.
I am completely against that. Like, because I've lived a life where I have not fitted in. I just had to be comfortable with being myself, knowing that people try to find labels to put you in that makes it more comfortable for them, make you more palpable,
Hmm.
more digestible. And don't when you don't bow or bend to that, people
Hmm.
have a choice of either just letting you be, or they move away. They don't stay in
Right.
the vicinity of where you are. They kind of stop orbiting, because it's like,
Right.
this mystery, this anomaly, or whatever the case may be, is like, no, I'm just a regular person. It's just that you're not used to encountering somebody who
Hmm.
prefers security over compromise, who prefers walking in genuine authenticness instead of being politically
Mhm.
correct or polite for the sake of social gatherings or socializing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you reach that or encounter someone like that, it it challenges, what we have accepted to be socially acceptable, because it's like
Mm.
this person is very honest with who they are, and it's not offensive, but I don't know how to reach them because now I have a mirror in front of me that's showing me myself, that's like, I can either
Right.
rise to this occasion and be just as present and deal with that uncomfortableness because I'm not used to it, or I can continue wearing the
Right.
mask and
Hmm.
hope I'm not called out for it. So when you're talking
Right.
about the value
Hmm.
exchange, and um
Hmm.
I would say to a more relatable sense with you, I am looked at often like I am a foreigner in America because I don't subscribe to a lot of the common American social constructs, especially
Hmm.
with being a man. Um, eh, um,
Give me an example. Yeah, give me some examples. What do
well,
you mean?
I don't fit the stereotype of a black man.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Even I said that. Like,
yeah.
bro,
And,
you're so different. Yeah.
and then like there are subtle nuances that would could probably put me into certain categories. Like I dress nice, I talk very
Right.
nice, I'm kind,
Right.
I'm expressive, so, and I am full of energy, and there are certain groups of men that portray that, but I'm not in that category. It's just that, well, you could be, it's like oftentimes people look at me as like, oh, he must be gay. I'm like, no. And it's like, no, it's like, no. And then they see me with women, it's like, how did I miss that? Because you were distracted by you were distracted by a
That's a nice
filter.
outfit.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like there's a filter that comes with appearances, right? So when you
Yeah.
see
Yeah. Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
the cultural filters that we have
Right.
subconsciously accepted when, oh, I see this type of person who dresses a certain way, talks a certain way, thinks a
Right.
certain
Right.
way. Like I stand very tall, I have great posture.
Right.
I used to
Right.
dance, but you know I'm blunt, I'm direct, I'm
Right.
bold, but I'm not offensive with it.
Right.
I carry a type of nurturing value and aura
Right.
that people will say that makes them feel welcome, but
Right.
they're not used to that type of masculinity, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Where the
I
masculinity is like polished
yeah,
instead
that's
of
what they
being
say. It's
rough
like,
and abrupt. Yeah.
yeah, that's what they say. It's like, you're so polished. It's like, well, I didn't go out and buffer myself. I just, I've been through the fire. I'm still going through the fire.
Yeah.
It's just that I've sat long enough with who I am and the things that I have lived through to get to
Right.
the root of a lot of things, that I'm still doing that. I call it, I'm unfolding in this journey that I'm on. And as that unfolding happens, it creates a basis for new foundation that I can build on, that allows me to
Hmm.
continue the journey. I stop saying I'm processing things, because processes start and stop, they get
Mm.
stagnated. Sometimes when you're in a process, you need somebody to sign off so you can move on. And I'm like, I stopped
Right.
waiting for permission to become
Right.
and to be. And I
Right.
carry that into the environments that I go into, because I
Hmm.
want other men to stop waiting for permission from society, from others, to finally show up, not as someone.
Yeah.
Be you. Don't apologize for being you. If some parts of you are a little rough around the edges, take the time to dive into why that is, because you don't have to refine
Yeah.
yourself to a certain way if that's not the type of refinement that you want, right? Learn
Yeah.
how to listen to yourself and to listen to what's really going on, and get to the truth, not a truth. Get to the truth, and that's where
Yeah.
you'll find the root. So that's one of the things that I do.
I feel you, and I feel like you said an important thing that because you dress nice, people would assume, or like dudes would assume that you're gay or something like that because you talk nicely. But I feel like as a man or as a dude, it is like somehow thought upon that, hey, if you're a dude, you don't need to like wash your face, you don't need to like take care of your hair, you don't take need to take care of your skin. I mean that's just not true. Because we live in a civilized world. We're not in the woods anymore. We live with different humans. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our hair, our body, and like take care of it. And if someone's doing that, I mean, in America it could be, but especially in India, bro, like if someone's taking care of themselves, taking care of the skin, using the good products so that their skin looks healthier, it doesn't break out and stuff like that. So, are you gay? Are you gay? Why does anyone have to be gay to be take care of themselves? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
assume that, if someone's masculine, he should be like rough and like well, which is true, but the times have changed, and
Mhm.
we live in a modern world, in a modern economy, and like everything modern, so we have to adapt. It's not like it's not 200s anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah, or like 800s anymore. It's this is 21st century, and you have to look good. You have to take care of yourself. You have
Mhm.
to be pleasant, and you have to and also what I feel like, if someone doesn't feel like taking care of themselves, it's totally okay. It's up to you. You don't want to
Mhm.
take care of yourself. Don't take care of yourself. But if someone's doing that, you don't get to like judge anyone. Oh no, he's too pretty. Or oh no, he doesn't look like
It's too-
like people assume all kind of things. Yeah, that
yeah.
because that's not true.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, I could be as rough as I wanted to, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like let it show it up on my
Yeah.
face and like wear like rough clothes and like not look decent, right?
Mhm.
Like it's just about like, yeah, how I want to present myself, but
Yeah.
and also like being rough and being rough and like growing a mustache or like anything like that, that doesn't make you a masculine dude. Of course, it shows that you're masculine, but that's not like complete. A lot of people think, oh my God, if I do this, I'm gonna look like a girl. Only girls take care of themselves. But you know what I think? Of course, I'm a guy. I like girls, and I want girls. That's why I'm taking care of myself so that I look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would even say, like, not taking care of yourself, that makes you more gay. Because, of course, you want the opposite gender, you want girls, but you not taking care of yourself is obviously making you look ugly to the girls, which in turn is not gonna, get you any girls. Although I don't like, just like dress nicely and like, take care of myself for the girls part, because, I mean, that's just a small part of it. We
Yes,
live in a
yes,
much
yes, yes.
much higher dimension. We're not like super, although we are super primal, but we also live in a different world and stuff like that. So it's just a part of it. But that's a good point. But yeah, especially in India, like dudes, they would not even trim their beard. Like if someone has if someone likes to have beard, it looks good, definitely. But like at least trim it at least once a week.
At
Don't let it
least.
grow out like
Yeah.
roughly and abruptly, and so like the hair coming out of the chest, and it just like, yeah, it just
I get it. No, and
yeah, and a lot of people are like, no, yeah, only girls take care of themselves, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, were you saying
no,
something?
no, I'm agreeing with you because it's like I've had people like they'll see me here and yes, I do smell good because I look like I smell good because I do wear nice smell goods
Yes.
because I like to smell good,
Yes.
you know. Um
Yeah.
so you are absolutely right and it's all about, respect. I don't want to say self-respect. It's just respect, right? I respect who I am. I respect how I show up. I respect the
Yeah.
environments that I am in. I respect other people and
Right. Exactly.
I desire to represent all of that, all of who I am, all of the communities that I represent, the people, the heritage, the upbringing, the mentorship, all of that when I go out into society or when I'm just in my room, regardless, I represent everything that has helped to shape me, right? God first, and then
Yes.
everything else
Yes.
after that. So it's like when I step out the room, you're seeing the accumulation of
Yeah,
of
yeah.
everything, like,
Hundreds of thousands of years.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, the
Whatever led
refinement.
led led it to this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even all of the deep, heritage work of facing, the demons of the
Yeah.
family, right?
Yeah.
All of that.
Everything. Yeah.
But and most people
Yeah.
don't realize that when you, especially with a man, we carry so much of that, especially since we carry seed. We carry all of that with us. And so we have a lot of tension, a lot of pressure on us to show up
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
somewhat perform too. So like
Yeah.
how do you
Exactly.
how do you hold that tension without fixing it? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
No, I no, yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. As a masculine person, there's always an option to like just fight, to like settle down things.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's say we both are, if we both are in disagreement, then we can just like go fight and like settle it down. But
yeah, yeah.
that's not the right way to do things, because that just means like if anyone, like they're not comfortable enough for the unknown or the uncertain. That's why anything which is not inside of your bubble, you find it like offensive, and you want to like calm that down because you want to live in the bubble. But as a guy, that's the beauty of us, of a masculine person. Like, they can be in total disagreement with someone else and still not get hyper or violent. If the
Mm,
masculinity is polished, if they're not like wild person, they're a civilized person and masculine person, then because a person would inherently understand that, okay, everyone has a different perspective, everyone's life condition was different, everyone's life is different, so of course they're going to have a different opinion. Sometimes you get people who have the same opinion, right? Sometimes you get
yeah.
people who have a different opinion, which is necessary as well, because there's always going to be light and dark and stuff like that. So no, and there's no universal truth to anything, to a way of life. Of course, there are different kind of shoes. Like, one shoe is not better than other shoe. It may be for you, but for other people, of course, they're gonna find other kind of shoes attractive, other kind of
Mm, mhm,
motorbikes attractive. Some people like Lambo, some people like Ferrari, so some people like Rolls. So it's not that, oh, if I love Ferrari, then no, every other car is like bad car. If I like a Lambo, then Rolls is bad. No, like everything can be true. So there's no universal point of truth. So there are times, as you said, like there could be like differences and stuff, and there's like tension building up, because I think when someone disagrees with us, if the ego is wild, if it's not polished enough, then what can happen is, we anytime anyone disagrees with us, it's almost like, because who we are what we believe in. And when we have the reason why it's so problematic for a lot of people to go outside of their bubble and understand the different perspective, because we are what we believe in. So if I believe in A and the other person is saying no, A is not correct, B is right. So what they are trying to say is that I am wrong. My belief. That's why like people get so attached to their beliefs, because their ego gets attached to their belief. Okay, am what I believe what I am. And if I think Lambo is the best car, all other cars are shit. And if someone's saying, no, Ferrari is better than Lambo, then that indirectly means that I'm wrong, which means my beliefs are wrong. And I am my beliefs, which means I am wrong.
mm,
My ego's gonna be like, no, I'm not wrong, I'm right, I'm right. But I think for an actual masculine person, they understand, okay, beliefs are different. Their beliefs are different. And both can be right and both can be wrong. Like, why does it even matter? Yeah. And also, it's very important to hold the tension, because a lot of the times people do not confront other people at all, because they don't want the tension to happen, or they don't want to like brew the tension. So they would rather, a lot of passive people, so they would rather think bad about the other person, or hold grudges, or hold something against the other person, then confronting it and then finding out a solution where, like, it's not a zero sum game. It's like win-win for all, but that takes courage,
it
because anytime
does.
you're in disagreement with other person, especially like, especially when you're in a disagreement with a guy, there's always a tension of like things going bad, like, getting into a fight because if there's a disagreement, and then this person raises raising voice, and then in the end, what happens? It's a fight. So a lot of people who they would just like if they're not like masculine enough, if they have like low testosterone, they would rather hold a grudge against someone and not talk to them in future than like confronting it, and then not like confronting it in like confronting way, but in a vocabulary, like a vocal way, and like finding out resolution and stuff like that. What do you think?
No,
Do you think
I
that's the case, or what do you think about?
yeah, sometimes people would I've
Mhm.
experienced that when there's a disagreement, there's
Mhm.
the nervous smile, which is like, "Oh, really?" And what that smile just says is like,
Mhm.
"Okay, I'm not going to continue this conversation. I'm going to find a way to switch it." But then that person um
Yeah,
they hold that. So when they
yeah,
see you, now they have this perception of you based off of that. And
right,
depending on their level of maturity and
right,
willingness to accept it for what it was, which is just a disagreement, which is acceptable, and there's nothing wrong with
right.
that, they will either hold that or deviate from having certain conversations with you going forward, or even not having any type of interactions with you outside of certain settings because of that. And that's
Mm,
perfectly fine. But as long to me, I would say as long as you're not holding something against someone because they don't agree with you, or
mm,
they don't match your lifestyle expectations, does not mean that they have a devalued life, you know,
yeah,
because they may not live in the same neighborhood or the have received the same type of education. I have learned over the years that
right,
you can learn from anyone, especially if you are teachable, right? So for
yeah.
me, I have learned so many life lessons from people that I didn't think I would be learning them from, because there was a point in time that I was, what's the word I'm looking for? I was extremely judgmental. I was extremely judgmental because I grasp concepts quickly, and I
Hmm.
would always be like, why is this so difficult for you to understand? Why did this take you so long for you to get? He's like, because we're, especially like peers of mine when I was in college,
Hmm.
we're in the same, we're in the same grade, we're doing the same things. Why is this so difficult for you to grasp? Especially if it was something that was like dealing with life things, like
Mm,
social things,
yeah.
and people things. I'm like, how is this so difficult for you to grasp this concept?
Mm,
But then when I was dealing with more technical stuff in the STEM area and I was struggling, then I was very humbled because there were people who were flying past and making
mm,
excellent moves and progress, and I was stuck because
mm,
I understood the concept, but I could not find the way to appropriate it and apply it.
right.
And I was not I was not willing to do some of the things that I was seeing happening, right? I wasn't willing to just go to the answer book to just write down the answer.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing
Hmm.
to just, cheat on the test or work together on homework when we were supposed to work separately, because I felt like I was cheating myself out of learning and being able to
Mm,
fully grasp the concept. Now, those people who may have did that, it's like, hey, I'm not coming at you with that. But for me,
mhm.
I've always I've always lived with this type of integrity. I
Right.
don't know where I learned it from. I
Mhm.
did not see it growing up. I love my
Right.
parents. My mom had a really good sense of integrity. My dad, from what I could see, he had integrity and always showed up in how he was. But as far as
Hmm.
like that level of integrity, I would just say that, God was with me and he said, "You bet not." So, um, but outside of that, it's
Hmm.
I had to learn to stop being judgmental. I don't want to say learn to
Yeah.
stop being so judgmental. I had to learn to stop being judgmental, because when when I was facing my own areas of opportunities, I was looking for more grace and understanding, but yet I wasn't willing to give it. So
Mm,
I had to learn that very quickly, because we always want people to be kind and empathetic towards us, or you could be the person that say, no, I deserve this. I deserve to be punished for whatever. I was like, why are you choosing the
Mm,
hard road as if you being punished is going to be the payment for the situation? That's not how that works. Um, you going through
right.
the struggle is not payment for an easier life. That's just the consequence of your decision.
Yeah.
That's not the appropriate exchange of, well, because I did this and I suffered for it, then I paid my debt. That's not how life works. That's just not how
Right.
it works. So